What's up, everyone? This is Clock Management. I'm your host, Justin, and as always, I'm joined by Perry.
Justin, roses are red, violets are blue. I'm not that pretty, but damn, look at you.
Nice.
Yeah?
Nice. Poetic.
Yeah? Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
You can't hear a poem and be like, that was poetic. I'm just saying.
But I did.
You did. You know what? You can do anything you want because you put a walloping on me this week, my friend.
Oh, yes. Me and Perry played each other in fantasy football this week in our home league.
Did not go well for the old pear dog.
Yeah. It's okay because now we're both 1-1.
It's true. It's true. I scored the most points in the league last week.
And I did this week.
And no, Kinsey
did. I not? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
She scored like 177.
Oh, yeah. Points. She still had another player left. Yeah.
Yeah. A little man by the name of Alvin Kamara.
Oh.
Which, if you aren't watching football right this moment,
I mean,
actually, I think the game may have just ended. Yeah. Nobody's watching football right. The game may have just ended. Alvin Kamara had himself a night.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Did.
Yeah.
We'll
Justin,
get to
what's going on?
First, I want to get to our giveaway. We have a giveaway, guys. We're giving away an autograph.
My fantasy team.
Keenan Allen jersey. You just have to subscribe on YouTube and leave a comment on any video this month. Every video is an entry to win. And then you can also check out our podcast on all podcasting platforms. We're on all social media, so make sure you find us on there. Communicate with us. It's the same logo on everything, so you know who we are.
Yeah. Please, most important, subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah, it helps us out a bunch.
Mm-hmm. Helps you out too, because you can't win unless you're subscribed.
Yeah. And yeah, we made it through week 2.
We might be the only people.
Yeah, that's true. Positive news first: 0 COVID positive tests. So,
I mean, I'm happy about that. I don't know how it's possible. I don't know how it's possible.
I know. I feel like they're lying.
Yeah, I know. Like they said that on Sunday, and I was like, okay, if you say so.
Yeah, I'm going to go with it because I want football, but.
Correct me if I'm wrong. They're not stopping players and staff from going out and doing whatever they like to do, right?
Yeah, no, they can still do whatever they want, and
it's not like the NBA, right?
Maybe the teams have imposed things like this. I'm not sure. But yeah, the NFL is not, and also they're traveling, and some of these teams have fans in the stadium.
Yeah. It's crazy. I can't believe that there's no cases. It's also somewhat related. I'm sure you just saw this tonight, Justin. But 3 coaches, Pete Carroll, Vic Fangio, and not Mike Shanahan.
No,
Kyle, his son, were all fined $100,000, and the team was fined $200,000 because they were not wearing masks on the sidelines.
Yeah. I guess, they gave a warning week 1, and then those 3 coaches, I guess, didn't follow the rules. I wasn't paying enough attention, so I don't really know if they did or not, or obviously they didn't, but
they were, and amongst others too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, in comparison to others.
Oh, yeah. So I think we'll probably start seeing more masks on the sidelines, right? That's not an insignificant fine, $100,000.
No, yeah, I was pretty shocked by that dollar amount. But
you know what probably won't be happening? The NFL probably won't be donating that money to COVID research.
It's probably
but that would be a good idea.
Straight to the commissioner's pocket. It's like a bonus for him.
I think you and I have talked about this before. Where does that money go? Yeah. There's just fined. There's just some guy that just like, ooh, another check. Cool. And the NFL just has no idea I don't know. Anyways,
whoever
moving
does
on.
the accounting for the NFL is just collecting that money.
Right. Okay, moving on. Justin, we've got a lot to cover today.
Yeah, we do. We do. I
And
mean,
all we've done is screw around so far.
yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah. So
We're
we're
gonna
right on pace.
we're gonna cover I mean, kind of a recap of week 2 and then
Yeah.
do waiver wire for week 3 and get this one out before waivers happen.
Yeah.
That's the goal. So
We heard some very reasonable complaints that our waiver wire episode came out after waivers.
yeah.
Hmm.
But I mean, if those players
Oops.
were still available, great
Yeah.
pickups.
Yeah. Yeah. Zero fab. You guys are welcome. All right. Okay. Well, we have a ton of injuries to talk
and
about.
apparently, this is also an injury episode unintentionally.
Right. Yeah. We'll start at the top with Saquon Barkley, torn ACL, confirmed today after the MRI. He is done for this season. I think the only good news here is that this happened week 2, so he should be ready for next season, as opposed to it happening in like week 13. And then
you're
it
hoping
dragging
he's ready for it.
Yeah. That's about it when it comes to good news on Saquon Barkley's ACL.
No, the other good news is the Giants are going to get a great draft pick.
Yeah. Oh man, that sucked to watch. I don't know if you were watching when it happened, Justin.
Yeah, because he got injured the play before as well.
Right, but completely unrelated to his knee.
Yeah,
it was like destined to happen.
Yeah.
If you guys weren't watching, just real quickly, he was cutting out to the sideline, being tackled, reached down to brace, and his elbow kind of hyperextended a little bit. He was a little shaken up, got up, and I'm pretty sure on the very next play, it was almost like the exact same play, except this time his foot caught and his knee twisted, torn ACL right there. It was crazy.
No, I put out a post on Instagram with a Grim Reaper chasing a bunch of players. And that's what was happening. The fantasy Reaper was just out 14
ACL tears.
Yeah, crazy.
So fantasy implications. Obviously, Saquon is a huge hole in a lot of rosters right now. Currently on the team, we're looking at Dion Lewis and Wayne Gallman.
Now,
I know
with no other information, which one of those two would you rather roster?
I mean, no other information.
Yeah.
Wayne Gallman. I don't think Dion Lewis is all that good at football, and I'm not putting in a waiver claim for Wayne Gallman. But you asked me which one I would rather. It would be Wayne Gallman.
Yep. But there is other information.
There is other information. The team is going to be hosting Devonta Freeman this week for a workout and interview and that sort of thing. I would be very surprised, based on all the injuries that happened this week, if Devonta Freeman doesn't sign somewhere.
Yeah. And I mean, the Giants, I think, for him, it makes a lot of sense for them. And that's a guy I would put a waiver in for. Freeman, I think that's completely reasonable to put a waiver in for him.
Yeah. Still a young enough guy that he should perform just fine. He was talented last season. He didn't get as much on the ground work for the Falcons last season, but he was really good catching the ball. And this team is going to be down. I mean, you and I were having an argument before the episode about which team is worse, the Jets or the Giants. I'm pretty sure we both lost.
But neither of us lost as bad as either of those teams. So
or the Saquon owners. Devonta Freeman definitely worth a waiver pickup if you've got room on your bench. Just with the prospect of him landing here, he's way higher on my list than Wayne Gallman would ever be.
Yeah. I mean, I am in a ton of leagues this year, as you know, and fortunately, due to my personal rankings, how I had Saquon ranked, I ended up not having Saquon on a single team, which
either did I.
I feel bad for his injury, but it didn't affect my fantasy teams at all due to that.
For me, it was Christian McCaffrey, and then it was Ezekiel Elliott, and I was going to take one of those two if I had a top 2 pick. So, okay, let's move on here. So we'll kind of put these two together. Both Malcolm Brown and Cam Akers have been, had a little shakeup this week. Starting with Malcolm Brown, he fractured his pinky. Apparently, he's going to be good to go week 3 against who are they playing in week 3?
The
Bills.
Rams?
I think it'll be the Bills. And then Cam Akers separated some rib cartilage. He should be okay. It's still kind of day to day on whether or not he'll play in week 3. But it sounds like they're kind of leaning towards that he'll be available, but he might not play a lot. Usually with the ribs, it's mostly just pain tolerance. So I imagine that it might end up being up to him. A lot of people going out and picking up Darrell Henderson, or at least putting in big waiver claims for Darrell Henderson. Are you putting in a claim for Darrell Henderson anywhere?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, well, now anywhere there. I mean, there are some crazy deep leagues I'm in that, I'm going to. But like your normal size leagues, like that most people are in, no, he's not someone I'm targeting.
And if you lost Saquon in a 10-team redraft, are you going to try and go get Darrell Henderson to replace him?
No, there's better options.
Yeah, I agree. And we'll get to them.
Yeah. And me and you were actually discussing this before the show. Like, Darrell Henderson is walking into people are getting him because of the Cam Akers injury. And so they see an increased opportunity. But that opportunity is the exact same opportunity everybody hated him when he had last year.
Yep. I completely agree. I understand that he had a great week in week 2, but maybe, and I said this to Justin, maybe we all need to stop worrying about which running back we want in the Rams backfield and start thinking about the fact that maybe we don't want the Rams backfield.
Yeah.
I don't want to touch it.
Yeah.
Period.
Who is the running back tone in the Rams backfield? Maybe there's not an answer to that question.
Yeah. Josh Jacobs. I would rather own anybody. Yeah. Stupid joke. Okay.
I didn't. Yeah, I'm like, wait, he doesn't play for that.
Terrible joke. Yeah, Justin's like he plays for the Raiders.
Yeah, I was just watching him.
Davante Adams did leave the game with a hamstring injury. It is considered not serious. He should be ready to go for week 3 against the Saints. So you Davante Adams owners can all breathe a sigh of relief. Sounds like there's nothing to worry about there. What's that?
I said they're one of the few player or owners that can have a sigh of relief.
Yeah. Tevin Coleman expected to miss multiple weeks due to a knee injury. That's all the information we have on what the injury is, but it's likely that he'll be placed on IR. Also, same team, Raheem Mostert is unlikely to play in week 3, which means Jerick McKinnon and Jeff Wilson will be the only healthy running backs on the 49ers. Jerick McKinnon, if you're looking for like a flash start, like, hey, this week, pretty good start.
Yeah,
I would assume. I don't think that he's a long-term solution for any problem, though.
No, he could be a couple week solution, but also this week he's going against the New York Giants. Yeah, that's a game that I expect them to win, and even with all their injuries, and I expect them to lean heavily on him with probably
Jimmy Garoppolo, who is my next one that I wanted to talk about. With Jimmy G out, likely we're also not going to see George Kittle again. I think that he's probably going to miss another week.
Shanahan said he expects him to play.
Shanahan said they expected him to play in week 2 as well.
Yeah, that's true. But I think Kittle will play this week. I think that they need him, not just because Jordan Reed actually did very well pass catching, but I think they need him more so in the blocking game to run the ball successfully.
Yeah. Bottom line, the 49ers gave up a lot this week to win.
Yeah.
2 of their defensive linemen went out. Richard Sherman is out. George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Raheem Mostert, Tevin Coleman,
D Ford,
Jimmy Garoppolo. It's insane. I think it's one of the worst injury sequences to a team I've ever seen.
Yeah, the NFL's sending people to check out that field because the 49ers are actually playing on that field again next week, and they were complaining about it.
Okay, Drew Lock expected to miss 2 to 6 weeks with a shoulder injury. He left really early in this game. Uh, Pretty tough. I mean, Jeff Driscoll, yes, he still plays in the NFL, I guess. Played well. You know, Denver almost kind of came back to win this game. I mean, it was never really a true threat, but they made it interesting. So personally, with the news next, Cortland Sutton out for the season with a torn ACL, which just sucks so much. The guys that you were already interested in starting on this team, I'm fine with it. With Cortland Sutton out, Noah Fant is going to get tons and tons of targets.
I like Noah Fant more. I think he's a big beneficiary here.
Yeah, totally. I would have been more excited had Drew Lock been in there. I think Drew Lock's a little bit more dynamic than Jeff Driscoll, but like I said, he played fine. Melvin Gordon did fairly well against a really, really tough Steelers defense. So you did call that, Justin. You said that Melvin Gordon would do just fine, and it was tough, but he did okay. He came out with a pretty good game.
Watching it because I mean they are a great defense. So but they utilized him in the passing game quite a bit too.
Yeah, I think Jerry Jeudy played better this week than he did in week 1, which was great to see.
Yeah, less drops.
So, I think Jerry Jeudy will be the number 1 target here behind Noah Fant, technically. I think Noah Fant's probably technically going to be the number 1 target. Jerry Jeudy, though, this could start to be like kind of his little bit of a breakout. So something to pay attention to. Jerry Jeudy should be rostered, but I'm not ready to throw him in my starting lineup.
And I'm a little bit worried too because they are also going against the Buccaneers, who have a really good defense.
This is going to be
has been struggling, which I think is kind of the opposite of what a lot of people thought would happen. But
right. Well, Chris Godwin, I guess we'll do this one next. Chris Godwin has cleared the concussion protocol, and he is eligible to play on Sunday. So Chris Godwin coming back will definitely help. It was probably nice that Tom Brady and Mike Evans got to do a little bit of, their thing. Mike Evans was great this week. So maybe this is the week that their offense really gets clicking.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Tom Brady.
Yeah. And we'll talk more about that on our next episode.
Yeah. Paris Campbell out indefinitely with a PCL injury, post collateral ligament, which is not good. He was carted off the field. I imagine that he's probably done for the season, if not the vast majority of the season. Michael Pittman Jr. Is he on your list to talk about?
Yeah.
And then maybe Zach Pascal to take on some of those targets. Brashard Perriman is considered week to week. I don't know if a lot of people were relying on Brashard Perriman, but I mean, Chris Hogan also out. Jameson Crowder, hamstring injury, out. Denzel Mims, hamstring, out. They're all banged up. Is there any way you can start a Jets player?
Man,
Frank Gore got a lot of opportunity this week, Justin.
I'm not starting Frank Gore. If there was some sort of handicap given for age, then absolutely.
There is. It's called age.
No, I meant for fantasy points.
They give out those little parking passes, dude.
Yeah, if I got that for my fantasy team where he got like an added 5 points, then yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I mean the tight end is like it's tempting, but I'm not doing it. Like Herndon is talented, but I'm not doing it. There's just not enough offense being generated.
So Chris Herndon blocked a higher percentage of plays this week than any other tight end on passing downs.
As they lost.
As they were losing. So I'm not touching Chris Herndon.
And he was their best pass catcher on the field.
Yep.
And they had him blocking.
Okay, so here's another big one. This one sucks for me. Affected me personally. Christian McCaffrey will miss 4 to 6 weeks. According to McCaffrey, he's going to try and come back sooner than that, but I'm not banking on that. So I would expect him to be out 4 weeks minimum, which really, really sucks for, the people that spent a number 1 pick on him. Now, Mike Davis came in the fourth quarter and was very good. He had like 7 targets for like 70 yards or something like that. So he's not just doing it on the ground. He can do it in the air as well. Not as well as Christian McCaffrey, but just like Christian McCaffrey. Mike Davis, I mean, we'll talk about him in waivers, but
yeah,
probably number 1 waiver pickup this week.
Yeah, he's definitely on towards the top of that list.
Yeah. Okay. Tyrod Taylor. This was kind of crazy, Justin.
Oh yeah, it actually caused us to lose in a league, the league we co-manage.
Yeah, you and I are in a super flex league, and we slept on quarterbacks during the draft, and we ended up with Tyrod Taylor as our second quarterback.
And then we also got Justin Herbert.
Yes, we have Justin Herbert, but literally, this wasn't even like, hey, you weren't paying attention. Everyone expected Tyrod Taylor to be starting that game until Justin Herbert ran on the field.
Yeah.
There was no time for you and I to swap out Tyrod.
Yeah.
Yeah, which sucks because Justin Herbert played really, really well.
And we barely lost in that matchup.
Yeah, we would have won. Tyrod Taylor, it was a chest injury, and it sounded really like, okay, man, you just wanted Justin Herbert out there. But Tyrod Taylor had to go to the hospital.
Yeah, I know. He was having trouble breathing. When I first heard it, that's what I was like, man, they just wanted an excuse not to, like, this why. But yeah, that's, I think you're right. Yeah, it's a real, like, something's actually going, and the coach keeps saying that he's still the starter.
Yeah. I imagine that if Justin Herbert plays again on Sunday, which is kind of what I'm thinking is going to happen, and he plays well again, for those of you that didn't watch, they almost beat the Chiefs. It's his job going forward. I don't think there's any way you could like.
Yeah, he should be the starter. I mean, he played better, so.
Yeah, push the Chiefs to overtime. They should have won that game. They played so well. I think that's the best any team has played this season.
Yeah,
I mean they played above their
talent,
expected talent. Yeah. And just so everybody, fantasy implications here. Justin Herbert is better for almost everybody on that team, except probably Mike Williams.
Yeah, I could see that, but I mean, obviously, if you're the Mike Williams owner, you don't. But so we want him in.
Yeah, it's better for Austin Eckler. I think he's better for Joshua Kelly because there's more of a threat as a passer, and then Keenan Allen, man. Yeah. Okay, Sterling Shepard has turf toe. Probably gonna knock him out of the game against the Bears, and he's probably gonna be dealing with it for a little while here.
They need to rename that injury because it doesn't sound like you hear turf toe, and it just sounds like, tough that out. Like, is that a real injury? And it keeps players out for weeks.
Yeah, it's really painful, but it's probably 2 to 4 weeks, depending on the severity. So I would expect Sterling Shepard to be out about probably 2 weeks. Darius Slayton.
Yeah, Slayton. Right? I'm definitely okay with starting Slayton.
Yeah. What about Evan Ingram?
So I'm definitely okay with starting Slayton.
Yeah. I mean, in the comments, leave a comment. Please, somebody explain to me why Evan Ingram is still so popular. I don't get it. Yeah. I'm not aware. Maybe I'm blind.
Maybe he's like a really good person or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
Got a good PR guy.
And then some good news here. Kenny Golladay expected to be back for week 3. My advice to all of you is go see if you can buy him low right now. If the Kenny Golladay owner is like 0-2 at the moment and desperate, see if you can grab Kenny Golladay, because Kenny Golladay will be a number 1 receiver on that team without a doubt. They need him so bad. And the game scripts they're going to be in is they need to pass the ball. So I really like Kenny Golladay going forward. There were a lot of injuries on both sides of the ball this week. I was just telling Justin, I feel like I haven't even wrapped my mind around all the fantasy applications. So if we miss something there, if I miss something there, I'm sorry. A lot of this will get ironed out. We'll talk about it as the week goes on.
And I'm actually in a similar thing. When CMC got injured, I went to trade for him in multiple leagues. Like, he's going to be out for multiple weeks. If you have depth at your team to get him, then like I would love to have him come playoffs. Yeah. And in like our home of record league, I'm like, oh shoot, who owns CMC? It's Perry. So I did not send a trade in the league.
I would. There's a very low chance I'm accepting that.
Yeah, I figured. So but that's something that I would recommend to people out there. Like, especially if you're 2-0 right now and you can get CMC, like that's great for your team.
Yeah. I mean, if you can combine a startable running back with like, one of these young receivers, sure. I mean, there's people that would take like a Kareem Hunt, CeeDee Lamb, maybe, and especially right now with all these injuries just happening, because they might not have options. Like they may be looking for wide receivers and running backs currently if they have him and one of these receivers who got injured. So it's an option. Yeah. Okay, Justin, you got some news nobody cares about?
Yeah, just one thing. This was just kind of funny. During the Chiefs game, Clyde Edwards-Helaire came out on the field, CEH, and his name was spelled wrong on the back of his jersey.
Well, you got to spell two of them right, all right? So.
Yeah, it's hard. He's got two names, so twice as hard.
It's literally twice as hard.
The team misspelled their number one draft pick's name. Good job.
That's funny. I like that. I like that news nobody cares about.
Thank you.
You did a really good job. You have my approval.
Awesome. All right, before we get into some waivers, though, I wanted to talk about just a couple of these games because there were some pretty insane games this week. One of them I want to talk about is Seattle versus the Patriots.
Game of the week, man.
Yeah, I mean, crazy points put up. The first thing I wanted to bring up, though, is Julian Edelman, man.
Yeah.
Julian Edelman, record the game of his career.
Yardage-wise.
Yeah.
With Cam Newton.
Yeah.
If you guys didn't know, Tom Brady used to be Julian Edelman's quarterback.
Oh, wow.
Greatest quarterback to ever play football.
I didn't know
that. That's insane. That's a really cool stat.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, good job, Cam.
Cam Newton for me is
he's trying to make Edelman fall out of love with Brady.
Yeah. Cam Newton for me is an auto start.
Oh, absolutely.
Plug and play. He went undrafted in a lot of leagues. I had a waiver in for him last week, and my wife got him instead, and she scored the most points in the league this week. And
man,
I love her.
The other thing I want to bring up was the last 2 seconds of this game.
Yeah,
they're on what I believe the 1 yard line. Mm-hmm. They have been doing quarterback sneaks this entire game and gaining 2 to 5 yards on them. Yeah. With Cam just running straight forward. And then they decide to try a trick like play where he like goes off to the side instead and like just completely messes it up. Why did they not just do what had been working?
I mean, I think that was the play that had been working. It was just whether or not he went left or right. And I think most of the night he was going just right of center. And this time he went just left of center. And to be fair, like this was the one time that he got caught.
Yeah.
And they just hit him low before he could get his dive. Like he was and I'll even one up your question there and be like, why didn't he just cut it to the outside? Because there was literally no one there.
Yeah, and he's outrunning whoever's chasing him.
He could have skipped into the end zone if he just cut it outside.
Yeah, but he could have done the Tom Brady submarine just because he had done that multiple times too and gained a bunch of yards every time. Because he's a big dude.
When they went up to, and this is not fantasy, whatever. But when they went to line up for that play, I fully expected him to line up under center.
Yeah.
And just do that Tom Brady quarterback sneak that's worked for the last 20 years. And that's not like an exaggeration. It's literally worked for the last 20 years. And now you have a quarterback that specializes in it.
Yeah, that's even better than Tom Brady.
Yeah, and then he put him in the shotgun, and he just lined up in the shotgun, and I was like, "What? Why?"
I did see a funny meme though saying that the Patriots should have thrown it.
Yeah, I saw that too. I saw that too. And then I mean, last question here, because this was such a good game with these like really weird decisions at the end. Seahawks need a first down to pretty much ice the game. They're 3rd and 1, and Russ bombs it for like 35 yards for an incomplete pass. And all he needed was 1 yard. Like, what were they thinking? I don't understand. Like, I know there's this whole like let Russ cook thing going on. The boy cooked. He had 5 touchdowns. The most efficient day I think I've ever seen of football. On like 20, he only had like 25 throws or something like that.
Yeah, except for that one throw. Like, yeah, why?
It's like,
why? Or run. You could run it with Russ. You could run it with any one of your running backs. Like, a short pass.
Right. It made no sense to me. It was like, you need a first down inbounds, and the game's pretty much over at that point.
And even if you get a first down out of bounds, oh well, it's still better than turning or having to punt. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was weird. But I mean, Russell Wilson, probably league MVP at the moment. I would say
leading candidate as of week 2. I mean, a lot of time to go, but I mean, I like it. I had him ranked pretty high in my rankings, but not number 1. So
no, me neither. 9 touchdowns, 11 incompletions so far.
Dang,
it's crazy.
All right, the next game I wanted to bring up was the Cowboys and the Falcons.
Yeah, the only 2 things that we really need to talk about here are the fact that Dan Quinn has no idea what he's doing with clock management.
Yeah.
Shout out, bud. Come on.
Yeah, come on the show. We'll help you out.
Yeah, it's our name. And that onside kick, which I don't think I've ever seen anything quite so funny.
Yeah, like I don't know if the Falcons understood that they are allowed to touch it before it goes 10 yards.
Yeah, no, clearly they did not understand.
Yeah, because they just kind of huddled around it as well as the Cowboys, but behind all of the Cowboy players.
That was amazing to watch.
They're like, all right, I got to let you grab this, and then I'll try and wrestle it from you.
And it happened. I know, like, this gets says all the time. It was like watching it in slow motion. It literally was like in slow motion while it was happening live, and I was just like, what? Why aren't they getting it? Get the ball.
Yeah, just jump onto it, and you win. You jump on that ball, and you win.
And Dallas jumps on it, and then the Falcons jump on it. I was like, what the heck just happened? Like, that was so weird. I don't know, man.
Like, you know what the Falcons also could have did? Because it was in slow motion, ran up and punted that ball out of bounds.
Just kick it as hard as you can out of bounds.
And you win.
Anything. Yes, anything. And you would have won the game.
Yeah. Also, that would have been hilarious if they did that.
Just some guy just some like linebacker just sends it. Just sends it to the stands.
I was going to say into the crowd, but...
Hey, there were
that's true.
There.
Yeah, they actually had the most people of any stadium.
That's weird.
Also, though, they had the 2 fake punts they did. Now, the first one wasn't horrible. It was a bad pass.
Yeah.
You know, like, okay.
Yeah.
The guy was open. Yeah,
the
Cowboys, yeah.
Yeah.
But then the second one, it was 4th and 5, and they tried to run it with like, I don't know who is like their backup quarterback or some. I don't know who it was, but like they did a direct snap to one of the people inside, and then he tried to run straight forward.
People,
yeah. I think he gained a yard, but I mean it was 4th and 5. What were they thinking?
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk this season about that teams need to be going for it more in fourth down. And I completely agree. There's actually a pretty high percentage of
statistics say so.
Yeah. So I agree, but don't do it that way. When you have Dak Prescott as your quarterback.
I just realized, Perry, what he's trying to do. He's trying to lower those statistics so people stop saying that.
Mike McCarthy, stop.
Single-handedly bringing that statistic down.
If you're not going to let Dak Prescott throw it 4 yards for you, but you're going to let your punter throw it 4 yards for you, you've got a problem. Like, you're not making good decisions.
Or let your punter run it when you have Zeke.
Yeah. Crazy.
I mean, I'm probably not running it on 4th and 5 anyway, but to be fair, the 49ers did run it on 3rd and 31 and got a first down. So
yeah. So I guess that's the new recipe for success.
All right. Now let's. So I'm a highlight. We did miss one injury. I forgot to bring up before the show, and I think that this one we probably forgot about it because we just expected it. Will Fuller had a hamstring injury during the game. So week 2 is when you officially bail on Will Fuller, and Brandon Cooks is now the wide receiver 1 there. Right. Which is exactly what happened. Once Will Fuller went down, Brandon Cooks almost had a 100-yard game, 95 yards receiving. So now I'm out on Will Fuller, and Brandon Cooks is starting.
Yep. I mean, I have nothing else to say. I've been saying it for months about Will Fuller.
We were just waiting for it to happen. It's happened. It took 1 week.
Yep.
Some other players too that I wanted to highlight how good they were was Calvin Ridley, 2 touchdown day. That was pretty awesome, and I think over 100 yards.
Go by Julio. By Julio low
for
right
sure. Yeah.
There's going to be somebody that gives up Julio for nothing, and that's going to be amazing for you.
I wrote down the wrong player's name next to Ridley because there's 2 of them, but I'm like, man, who was I meaning? I wrote down Godwin because I was thinking of how much that Ridley could be like Chris Godwin from last year for this year.
Yeah.
But the other player I wanted to bring up was Terry McLaurin we talked about on that horrible offense that has to throw the ball. He's getting a ton of targets, receptions, had over 100 yards receiving and a touchdown, had a great day.
Yeah. I mean, I think I said that I don't want a player on such a bad offense. Maybe I was wrong. With Terry McLaurin, I still think I think I'm like half wrong, half right. I think
he's going to have games where he vanishes,
right? But I also think Terry McLaurin is better than I gave him credit for.
Yeah,
I think on any other offense or almost any other offense, he would be incredible.
Yeah, I agree on most other offenses, minus disclaimer for any New York team.
Right. Yeah. Don't know New York teams. Yeah, cool.
I go back to my. Okay,
go back to it, buddy.
My notes. Yeah, there we go. All right, so waivers. So I mean, we alluded to this one real quick, so I'm just gonna start there. Definitely, it's not my top waiver priority, but it's the Michael Pittman and Zach Pascal. Which one of those guys would you rather have?
Michael Pittman Jr.
I think I lean more towards Pascal. I like both of them though. I think they're both interesting options. Because especially with TY there, I think it's a matter of time before TY gets injured. Which I mean, I'm not wishing that on him. I don't want that to happen, but I think it's likely to happen. So I like both these guys, and I like Pascal because he was there last year and he seemed to do pretty decent before he got hurt.
Yeah. I mean, I think Zach Pascal's good. It's close. Yeah. It's not like a...
Oh, yeah. I have them super close. I had them super close in my rankings prior to this. I think they were back to back.
It's not like a cut and dry choice for me, but I think I would go Michael Pittman Jr. over Zach Pascal.
All right, so this next, I'm gonna give you, I'm gonna put two names out there, and we'll talk about them because I think these two are my top two waivers, and depending, I guess depending on your team, and what you're needing out of them. So the first one's Mike Davis, and then the other one is Jerick McKinnon.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's Mike Davis.
Yeah, so
for me, but
the reason why I'm saying that it matters to me though, like what your team needs, is because Jerick McKinnon's playing the Giants this week, as Mike Davis is going against the Chargers, who were really impressive this last week on defense.
Chargers defense is really good.
Yeah. So like, if you need like someone to start this week, then I think I go McKinnon for this week. Yeah. But if it's because like you are the CMC owner or something, or something like that, then
I'll tell you my exact plan. So I am putting in a waiver for Mike Davis, and we're on a fab now, so I can tell you that. I won't tell you how much.
Yeah, I'm not putting one in for him, so
sure. Well, I don't want anybody to know how much.
Yeah.
All right. I know some of our league mates listen to this. Andy taking Matt Ryan from me, so if I get Mike Davis, I will not be starting him this week. I will be starting Kareem Hunt, who I have on my bench.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to face that Chargers defense. But going forward, if Mike Davis is fairly effective even against that great defense, then I'll feel comfortable starting him until CMC comes back.
Yeah.
Jerick McKinnon would be a wonderful 1 week start. Like a really, really good 1 week start. But I can't afford
I'm planning to put a waiver in for McKinnon, so
yeah. I can't afford to pick them both up. It's one or the other on some of these big waiver priorities this week. So
yeah.
I'm going to take Mike Davis because I need more of a longer term solution. Whereas Jerick McKinnon, I think, is like a short, like, hey, let's go win a week, maybe two.
Positive news for you is we did add IR spots to our league this year. So
very positive.
Yeah, with the injuries, the little nice things, which I recommend that you guys do if you have not for this year, especially, just in case, COVID, and then with no preseason, these injuries are crazy. So it's nice to have that.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So Davis is my choice there, but I think McKinnon is a really good option.
Gotcha.
Especially you're just streaming to win a week. McKinnon will be really good, and McKinnon's looked really good. It isn't like now he's just filling in. Like, he's been very good when he's on the field. So
yeah, and with him, the thing was everyone was worried about injury too, because he's been injured every year he's been on the 49ers. And now he's their only healthy running back.
Right. Yeah.
The irony.
The irony.
Cool. So the next guys we've actually already talked about. So we got the Giants running backs, which we already spoke about, and then Darrell Henderson, and which we already spoke about. Devonta Freeman, we spoke about it, but then we get to some wide receivers here. Oh well, I got one more running back I want to bring up. Or sorry, two more. I'll give them to you in a pair again. Okay. Myles Gaskin and Joshua Kelly.
Yeah, I mean, I think Joshua Kelly is. I think actually with both of these guys, for me, they're more of like a depth pickup. I think had Christian McCaffrey not got hurt this week, for me personally, I'd be happy to go out and try and grab one of these guys. Just to increase my depth. I don't know. I mean, Joshua Kelly looks like he's going to continue to get a lot of work, but he hasn't been that efficient with it. I would really like them just to start giving Eckler even more of the work. Myles Gaskin, I don't know, man. It's hard to tell with this Miami team. I feel like they're going to be down a lot in a lot of games, which means
I would rather take the shot on Myles Gaskin, and the reason why is because I think Tua is going to start here at some point, and that he might start being more like even more efficient at that point.
Yeah, I think I would agree with you. I'm having a little bit of trouble pulling myself away from my team because I've been thinking about this stuff all day for my team, and I own Austin Eckler as well, and so the Joshua Kelly pickup makes a lot of sense to kind of handcuff them together for me. But I guess if I look at it from the perspective of I don't own Austin Eckler, Myles Gaskin is probably a more interesting depth play because there isn't that big, Austin Eckler in front of him.
I love how in the offseason the big debate was which Miami running back was the one to own between Jordan Howard and Matt Breida, and it turns out it's Myles Gaskin.
The one fear of Myles Gaskin is Jordan Howard. Yeah. And Jordan Howard is going to rush 6 times a game for 12 yards and a touchdown. And it just sucks because he's really good at the goal line and really bad at seemingly everything else now. So that's my one worry with Myles Gaskin, I guess. But he's involved in the passing game. He's involved in the passing game too, which makes me very happy. He had 6 catches in week 2.
Yeah, in PPR especially, this is more interesting, as Joshua Kelly is not as involved in the passing work as Austin Eckler. That is his bread and butter.
Right, meat and butter. That's a throwback. If you guys remember that, you've been here since the beginning.
Yeah, right. All right, let's get to some wide receivers.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna start you off with this one just because it's gross.
Okay.
Corey Davis. How you feel about adding Corey Davis to your team?
If AJ Brown is out, I'm fine with adding Corey Davis. Soon as AJ Brown is back, no thank you. Ryan Tannehill is very good.
Yeah.
Right? He's very efficient, but I don't think he has the quantity of passes to support 2 fantasy relevant wide receivers, especially with Jonnu Smith ascending.
Yep. I went on a show, did someone else's show on Sunday morning where we talked about start sits, and Sunday morning after AJ Brown, we found out about AJ Brown and everything. And someone asked about whether to start Corey Davis. I told them I'm starting Corey Davis if I'm them, but then I'm immediately going to take a shower because I feel dirty.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's not good. I'm not happy with the situation I've put myself in if I am starting Corey Davis.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, go for it. If AJ Brown's out, sure. Yeah, put in for Corey Davis. I think there might be some better wide receiver options on the waiver this week, personally.
Yeah.
People that have more long-term value, long-term depth too. So.
All right, so here's a pair from the same team. Marquez Valdez-Scantling and Allen Lazard.
Yeah. This one's really hard. I asked you this one last week, Justin.
Yeah.
You said Lazard last week. Has your opinion changed at all?
Yeah, I mean it's hard, but I'm sticking with my guy.
You stick with Lazard?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I gotta go MVS. And I think it's just, at this level, I'm not really looking for floor, right? At this level of wide receiver, which I think Allen Lazard gives great floor, whereas MVS has a really high ceiling. So I would go MVS and just hope for, that 60-yard touchdown or the 2 touchdown day or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree with you.
Yeah. I mean, if you want floor out of your wide receiver 3, right? I guess that's where one of these guys would be played for anybody.
Yeah.
Then I guess Allen Lazard. And, clearly there's always, if you're catching a ball, there's always an opportunity to find the end zone. I just think that MVS probably has the higher likelihood of like blowing up in a week. And if my wide receiver 3 blows up in a week, I probably win. And so, yeah, I'll go with MVS, but kind of similar as the Corey Davis situation. I'm upset if I put myself in a position where I have to start one of these guys.
Yeah, and there are leagues that I am in where I've
Deeper
had to
leagues,
make
yeah.
some of these decisions, and it's not a good feeling.
Right. But like a 14 team league or something like that, sure.
Yeah.
Like that makes a whole lot of sense. But 10 or 12 team league.
Or I have one league where you start 4 wide receivers and then you have 2 flex spots. It's insane.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to send you a screenshot of that lineup. It's insane. Okay, so Russell Gage from the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah. A lot of people are really excited about Russell Gage. A lot of people have Russell Gage as their top wide receiver waiver priority this week. Man, the third wide receiver on a team is always so scary, especially when you have 2 big eaters. I think that Russell Gage is going to be too expensive in terms of fab for me, because I expect Julio Jones to be fine.
Yeah, exactly. I do expect Julio Jones to be better than what he has thus far.
Had Julio not dropped, and it was a total
that was
drop.
Such a beautiful pass too.
50-yard touchdown. It wasn't overthrown. It was perfect.
Julio doesn't drop those. I don't know who that was.
I don't think we'd really be having this conversation about Russell Gage. Now, if Julio were to say miss 2 or 3 weeks, Russell Gage is like,
God, yeah.
So I mean,
he's
ahead
starting.
of Mike Davis.
Yeah, he's starting in your lineup. Like it's not like, oh, should I start this guy or should I have him for depth? No, he's starting.
Yeah. So, I mean, just look at the situation. If you have room on the bench, if you can go drop somebody, and pick up Russell Gage and just see what happens with Julio, fine. But I'm not ready to throw him in my starting lineup yet. I'm also not ready. Like he doesn't move ahead of the running back pickup for me this week.
Yeah.
So,
all right, last one, Mecole Hardman.
I don't know. I want Mecole Hardman to be good.
As something we didn't cover just because he wasn't exactly fantasy relevant. Sammy Watkins also got injured week 2. So, I mean, that may help Mecole see more targets.
Yeah, it feels like we've been doing this for a while now with Mecole Hardman. I'm actually not interested at all in Mecole Hardman.
He's tempting for me just because he's on that Kansas City offense, and like there's a chance that he could like you're saying, he's a dude who his ceiling is super high. He could there could be a week where he has 2 touchdowns, and crazy yards, but
certainly
his floor is rock bottom,
ground level. Yeah. I mean, Mecole Hardman's got to be owned in 40-ish% of leagues.
Yes, 43.
Okay. I mean, I would say N'Keal Harry is probably owned in maybe 50-ish% of leagues, and I would much rather have N'Keal Harry.
Yeah, I didn't put N'Keal Harry on here, which is funny because I did want to talk about him. Yeah, and N'Keal Harry needs to learn how to break a tackle, any tackle, just one of them.
Yeah. I think N'Keal Harry I would much rather have him than Mecole Hardman. I think he has a chance of blowing up 2 at any week, especially on this offense that seems to work. So I think, I would rather have N'Keal Harry than Mecole Hardman. I think I would either rather just go get Russell Gage and just wait and see what happens. But I guess Russell Gage's price tag is going to be much higher.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to get into some tight ends here. The first one
is week of the tight ends, my friend.
It's not even a question because it's an answer, and that's Jonnu Smith. The answer is yes. Yes, you want him.
Yeah, so I don't know if you were paying attention to our waivers this week and the turmoil that happened with me, where I dropped Hayden Hurst and picked up Jonnu Smith, and then a day later dropped Jonnu Smith and picked up Hayden Hurst again. And then watched Jonnu Smith put up 2 touchdowns. And then Hayden, and I was like, well, like I was so upset. And then Hayden Hurst puts up like 65 yards and a touch, or 80 yards and a touchdown. And I was like, okay, I guess that's okay. But I had Jonnu and he had 2 touchdowns. Yeah. I don't know what to do. Yeah. Jonnu Smith.
Go get Jonnu.
So good. I mean, I guess so. I'm pretty sure some other people in our league are going to put in for Jonnu too.
I don't even know who my tight end is in our league. I might have to look.
Doesn't matter. Don't look until Wednesday. I'll tell you real quick.
Yeah, I actually have our league up. I can look.
Your tight end is Noah Fant. You're not going to go with Jonnu.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah, Jonnu, man. I mean, I was saying it. I've been saying it for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Or I've been saying it for longer than 2 weeks with Jonnu.
He was one of your favorite tight ends to target at the end. I remember I liked Noah Fant a little bit more, and you like Jonnu a little bit more.
And we're both right.
Yeah, we're both living that right now, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, now these other guys are guys who are not rostered on anyone's team. Anyone's. One of them's owned on 5% of teams, one's 0.9 and one's 0.5.
There's one that I'm wondering if you're going to ask about, and I'm going to surprise you because I own him on a team.
Okay, so that's Jordan Reed.
It's not that one.
Dalton Schultz.
It's that one.
I figured if there's any of these that it was him. And then Mo Ali Cox. So obviously, in case those people out there don't know, Jordan Reed is now the tight end for the 49ers until George Kittle returns. Dalton Schultz is now the tight end for the Dallas Cowboys with help me out here.
Oh man, isn't that sad how quickly
he's
they
dead
leave
to
my
us.
mind.
Yeah. Well, their tight end going to IR. That's embarrassing. And then Mo Ali Cox is the tight end for the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, I picked up Dalton Schultz last week in our Dynasty League, actually, Justin.
Nice.
Just I didn't need him, but it was like, hey, this could be useful. We have such a deep bench in that league. Turns out it is pretty useful. So my opinion on these three, if George Kittle plays, Jordan Reed is
Blake Jarwin.
Yeah. Oh, he's Blake Jarwin. No, Blake Jarwin's out.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's Blake Jarwin. If George Kittle plays, I'm not touching Jordan Reed.
Yeah, obviously.
If
are you touching any of these if they're not though? Or if he's not?
So I would rank them rest of season: Dalton Schultz, Mo Ali Cox, Jordan Reed.
Yeah. What about for next week, assuming Kittle does not play?
Who does Dallas play?
I actually just exited that.
Dallas plays the Seahawks. I'm playing Dalton Schultz.
Oh, really?
Over Jordan Reed.
I think I play Jordan Reed if he's out, or if he's out again.
It's not a bad bet. I'm just waiting for the concussion.
Yeah.
If the concussion happens in the fourth quarter, then you probably got some points.
Yeah.
But if it happens in the first quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, you're upset.
No, I'll play Dalton Schultz, man. With that Cowboys offense, the Seahawks defense doesn't look like it can stop anything.
All right. I got two more things for you, Perry.
2 more things.
Yeah. First one, I want you to rank these three. Which one of these 3 quarterbacks would you rather, or put these 3 quarterbacks in order for rest of season? Okay. Ryan Tannehill, Gardner Minshew, Joe Burrow.
Oh boy, that one's really tough.
Yeah,
I think I go Ryan Tannehill, Joe Burrow, Gardner Minshew, but it's close.
So, I think I go Ryan Tannehill, Gardner Minshew, Joe Burrow. Yeah, also close. And I feel like I think everybody might be too low on Tannehill, including myself.
I think everyone might be too low on all these players.
Yeah, well, yeah, I agree. But Ryan Tannehill, you remember the hot streak he had at the end of last year, and we're he cannot keep up this efficiency. And he's like, okay, I'll throw it more.
Right. Well, I mean, they did that in week 1. Week 2, it slowed down.
Yeah, that's true. But he was efficient.
It went back. It went back to kind of more what you'd expect, but with Derrick Henry having the literally no efficiency.
Game. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean, so I think that Joe Burrow ahead of Gardner Minshew is just based on the fact that it seems like the sky is, or the ceiling is really possibly very high with Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
And so I'm just kind of maybe a little bit excited about that.
It would go up if he stopped throwing the ball to AJ Green.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
13 targets and I think 3 catches.
If AJ Green, I mean, it would go up if AJ Green caught 13 targets. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm erring on the other side, just assuming he's not.
Yeah, I mean, I think
give Tyler Boyd those targets.
Yes, I agree with that. But I think with AJ Green, I think he's still talented. I don't really think that's ever been my problem with AJ Green. It's more the fact that AJ Green clearly can't handle a full season, and we'll probably, see the injury report here pretty soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the Cincinnati Bengals might be better. I don't know. I think they might be better than we expect.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was considering, asking for a friend, Justin.
Uh-huh.
All 3 of those quarterbacks are available in our league.
Yeah.
Who should I go pick up? Because Tom Brady is not working out.
Yeah, I think I go Gardner, actually. I know I just said I have Tannehill at the top of my list, but I think I go Gardner Minshew. Also, they play Miami next week. It's a good week at least.
They play the Vikings next week.
Who, Jacksonville?
Oh, Gardner. Oh, Jacksonville. Sorry, yeah. I was looking at the Titans. Yeah. I don't know what to do. Also, Thursday night games. I hate having players play on Thursday night.
I don't like.
It literally has no effect.
Yeah,
except mentally and
yes,
this isn't good.
And emotionally. Yeah, I know. I hear people talk about that sometimes, and I'm like, you can't take that into effect. I know I do, but you can't. Don't tell other people to. You know it's irrational.
Yeah, I think. So if you're in my situation, where you went out and you ended up with Tom Brady or something like that, and you're not pleased with the outcome, stream between these 3 guys. If you're in like a 10-team redraft where the likelihood of them getting picked up by another team is pretty low, just start streaming until one of them, settles in as an every week start. If one of them settles in, you could even throw Ben Roethlisberger in that list.
Oh yeah,
of
for sure.
Too.
And or you could trade the Drew Brees owner.
No. No. I feel you're so lucky that I didn't take Kyler Murray because you would have been stuck with Drew Brees.
Yeah, and I would have been in the boat you're in.
Yeah. You would have been paddling the old man boat that I'm sitting in right now.
Okay. Let's real quick Thursday night football, Perry. We're going to talk about who you should start and sit because our next episode won't come out till after Thursday. So, you have
Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, Miami versus Jacksonville. So, Gardner Minshew, absolutely.
Yeah.
DJ
Mike
Chark.
Gesicki? Oh, DJ Chark. Yeah, sorry, I just was jumping around.
Yeah.
DJ Chark. Yeah, start him.
Are you starting any other receivers from Jacksonville?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
No.
Are you starting anyone else from Jacksonville? Robinson?
Yeah, Robinson. Yeah, go for it.
We were just talking about we are both wrong on that one. But part of fantasy is realizing when you're wrong and adjusting.
In fact, if he's available, he's like probably second for me right now. I'm not afraid of Raquel Armstead.
No. I was just trying to think if he might be first for me.
Yeah,
I might, because he has a clear path to start the rest of the season.
That's true. That's true. Mike Davis I don't know. Yeah, 1 or 2, pick one.
Yeah,
if he's available. So I'd definitely start him. On the Dolphins side of the ball,
are you starting Fitzpatrick?
No.
What about Tua?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, they might pull. They might pull a Chargers on us.
Yeah, start Gesicki.
Gesicki. Oh yeah, I was really happy to see Gesicki go off.
I would stream Gesicki this week. You know, I think there's too many viable tight ends. I almost miss the days when it was like, I really don't need to think about it. They all suck. That's no longer the case with tight end. But yeah, sure. Yeah, Gesicki's a good start.
What
Gaskin?
About Gaskins? I'm probably not starting him.
Yeah, I'm not either.
It's got to be a pretty bad situation. I mean, which might be people's situation out there with all these injuries. So you may be in a situation where you need to. My general answer is no, I'm not starting him. But like, if you're in a situation where you think you might need to start him, hit us up on like Twitter or leave a comment in the video, and we can give you more specific.
Yeah. Who wins?
Jacksonville.
Okay, I agree. I'll say Jacksonville wins 27-24. I think it's a close game.
I also think it's a close game. I just don't think there's going to be as many points generated. I'm going 21-14.
Okay. What's a better matchup, Gardner Minshew versus the Dolphins or Joe Burrow versus the Eagles?
Joe Burrow versus the Eagles, I believe.
That's all I needed to know. I'm struggling, Justin. I'm on full tilt right now. And you've got Kyler Murray, so I don't care what you know about my quarterback situation.
Yeah, I'm not going to grab either one of them. So
yeah. Cool. All right, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, and we'll see you guys on Friday.